when you're going to call somebody that did not, you didn't send them a mailer, okay? They're not responding to a sign or an advertisement. They weren't referred to you by somebody. This is a cold call. That's what I'm talking about, is somebody that has never heard from you before. Okay, so let's give two examples. Let's give two examples from the real estate world. We're going to give an example of a lead on somebody that may be in a foreclosure situation or a short sale situation. They have an issue with their mortgage. Okay, we'll give that example because that's going to be a cold call where you're going through lists and you're finding like Liz Pendens or something like that. All right, and then we'll give the example of a probate lead where you were looking through public records, probate records, and you found maybe something that's either a divorce or an estate type of matter, okay? So first example, we'll talk about cold calling a lead that has a Liz Pendens, or there's issues going on with this person's mortgage and you're interested potentially in buying their house or finding out what their situation is, and maybe you can help by buying the house, okay? So here's what I say. I call them up and they answer the phone, hello, and I say, hi, my name's Adam with Make It Move Properties here in Kansas City. I always tell them I'm here in Kansas City, okay? And I'm working my local market. So if you're in Pittsburgh, I would suggest you tell them, hey, this is Joe in Pittsburgh, or this is Joe with such and such company here in Pittsburgh. You want them to know that you're local, okay? So they're going to have the chance to get face-to-face with you. I think that's huge, so that they understand you're not like a virtual assistant or somebody in a call center overseas. You want them to know that you're from their local market. So I'll call. This is a person that's got, a Liz Pendens on their mortgage, or something's going on with the mortgage, and I want to approach them as a possible real estate transaction where I'm going to purchase the house or do something creative, okay? So I call them, they say hello, and I say, hey, this is Adam with Make It Move Properties. Hey, Quinn, what's up? What's up? Thanks for the hearts, man. Thank you, brother. Hey, this is Adam with Make It Move Properties here in Kansas City. Just so you know, I was going through some public records. I see there may potentially be some issues going on with the mortgage on your house. Would it be possible that I could be helpful if I was interested in buying your house? Or something along those lines, okay? So I'm not going to act like I know exactly what their issue is. I'm not going to be accusatory in tone and say, hey, I see you're behind on your payments, or it looks like you're going into foreclosure. I don't want to say anything like that because truly I don't necessarily know the issue. But even if I do know the issue, you guys saw I had an earlier Periscope last week. People want the chance to tell their story. And so you're going to give them the chance to tell their story, which is going to help you to build rapport and build trust, okay? But I'll call them, just to review, I'll call, hey, this is Adam with Make It Move Properties here in Kansas City. They know who I am, they know who I'm with, and they know I'm local. And you might ask them, who am I talking with? So let's say if you've seen the person's name on the note, you might want to make sure you get that person on the phone, okay? So I give my information first, then I ask for theirs. Who am I talking with? This is Joe. Joe, that's cool. You're who I wanted to talk with. And then I don't hide the elephant in the room. I get right to it and I say, I was looking through public records and I noticed there may be, okay, I don't say there is, there may be an issue going on with your mortgage. Is it possible I could be helpful if I was interested in buying your house? If I do that, I've pointed out the elephant in the room. They know who I am. They know who I'm with. They know where I'm located. I'm taking away all sorts of objections that they might throw at me. All right? Guys, I see that you're commenting and asking questions, which is awesome. And on the replay, I will go back and look at these, and we can answer questions in upcoming ones because I do Periscopes daily, Monday through Friday. So thank you for asking questions. I want to continue on this train of thought because I had a really good specific question today. So that was an example of a script that I'll use, or what I'll say. I hate to use the word script, but I mean, it is pretty much the same thing. That's what I'll say to somebody when I have a lead on someone with mortgage issues where this might be a creative finance scenario, or I might just be able to buy the house because they've decided they're done paying on it and they want to sell the house, okay? So that's how I open with those. And if you open like that, then you're going to get one of two answers, okay? So let's address how we deal with those answers. We want a motivated seller, right? So if I ask the question that I just asked, which is, I see there may be an issue with the mortgage on your house. Is it possible that I could be helpful if I was interested in buying your house? They're either going to do one of two things. They're either going to say no. If they say no, conversation over, okay? We want motivated sellers. If they're going to throw up walls right from the beginning, it's most likely not worth the time invested, okay? So if they say no, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking a moment out of your busy day. I'll let you go, okay? That's it. That's all. Or if you want to throw in something extra on the end, if you think there's a potential for the future, you could say, okay, thanks for taking some time out of your busy day. Just so you know, if you decide in the future it would be helpful and you would like to sell the house, I would love to hear back from you. Here's my name and number. You could do that too. Just depends. You'll have to feel it out with the person you're dealing with. So one potential answer is no. If they come back with anything other than no that sounds like they want to tell you their story or that they're interested, it's time to put on your listening ears, okay? You're done talking at this point and you're going to listen and allow them to tell their story. So they might come back with, and here's the deal. You'll get a lot of people who will be like, oh, yes, thank you for calling me. All right. If you're the first investor that's called them, you'll get, oh, yeah, thank you for calling me. Maybe you can help. Here's what I'm dealing with. And then they're going to tell you a story. Or they might go right into, yeah, I've actually got a bunch of calls like this. And you might get something along the lines of, are you a real investor? Are you actually interested in buying my house? And of course you are. Okay. And then again, they're probably going to go into a story. And by listening to that story, you should be able to offer them some helpful information, including if you're looking at a creative finance type of thing or a short sale type of scenario, you might be able to help them if that's the kind of investing that you do. Okay? So that's how I call people with a mortgage issue. Here's how we call people that are in probate or divorce. It's very similar, but it's just going to be a little bit different wording. So I'll call, ring, ring, ring. They answer, hello. Hi, this is Adam with Make It Move Properties here in Kansas City. Just so you know, I was going through some of the public records and I noticed that you have a case in probate right now. I don't know the details of that, but just so you know, I buy houses in the area. Would it be potentially helpful to you? Would it possibly be helpful if I was interested in buying your house? Now again, I've not probed into their situation, which by the way, if they're interested in selling the house, they're going to tell me a story and they're going to tell me about their situation. And if they're not, they're going to let me know right away by putting up objections or walls, and they're going to say, you know, I'm not really interested. I've got 10 calls like this before. I don't want to talk to anybody about selling my house. Don't push it, okay? They need you more than you need them. And if they're not truly motivated to sell the property, why do we want to have a conversation about it anyway, okay? But let's say that the answer isn't no, okay? Let's say the answer is, yeah, actually, I've got a divorce going. And by the way, if it's a divorce, they may be very free-flowing with some of the information they give you. That's pretty normal, okay? If it is you'll need to make sure that you tread carefully, okay? And also tread carefully if it's an estate issue. It might be a deal where grandpa just died or grandma just died. I've had a number of those, actually, where they were in either tax foreclosure or they were in probate. And just understand that's a sensitive issue, and you want to make sure that you let people know that you are there to help them, and you are, right? Okay, so don't try to start talking numbers on the house too soon. Don't try to start negotiating before you've given them a chance to tell their story. Make sure that you listen and hear their story, and then find out if you can be helpful. Because if selling the property is not one of the options they want to pursue, you're not going to negotiate. If selling the property is one of the things that they want to do, but they want information first, you got to make sure that you give them information. And the reason I'm sharing all this is because I know a lot of wholesalers, I've met a lot of wholesalers, and those of us who are able to do business consistently and successfully, we take time to listen to people and really address the issues that are important to them, even if those issues might not be important to us for completing that real estate transaction.